to the member opposite for her speech. Madam Speaker, I think the party opposite has about 80 pages of speech that they just hand from member to member. It's almost like a fruitcake at Christmas, going around from house to house. But, Madam Speaker, the member opposite speaks about accountability and transparency. So here's my question. Where is the transparency with the leader opposite, the leader of the opposition, with respect to his clearance? He refuses to get it, and more Canadians are wondering why he's refusing that. Secondly, what is up with the allegations of foreign interference with respect to his leadership bid? Can the member opposite comment on that? Thank you.
The honourable member for Calgary-Mindapur.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. First of all, I'll say no one likes fruitcake and no one likes the scandal and corruption of this Liberal government. I'll start by saying that. We all know that this government should just release the names, and the member for Carleton knows that. The member for Carleton knows if he receives a clearance, it will be the clearance that the Prime Minister wants to give him. He would like the same clearance or the same briefing that the Washington Post got, and he will not receive that from this Prime Minister. And then, Madam Speaker, he will not be able to speak on the information that he has received. It would be far more transparent if this government would just release the names, but they are not willing to release the names. As for the comment of the foreign interference, the member for Nose Hill gave a very eloquent statement today, and she stated exactly the truth. She is far too experienced a parliamentarian to ever be involved in a situation like this, and of course, the Liberals would not like to listen to her words because they don't like to listen to Conservatives, and even less they like to listen to strong Conservative women. And this is just the same case, Madam Speaker.
And comments. The honourable member for Barrie. The honourable member for Souris, Brandon Souris.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In my speech this morning, I talked about accountability and transparency, and I'm just going to ask my colleague. About what she just mentioned, the transparency and accountability. As much as I may like fruitcake more than she does, the couple of people across the way are acting like squirrels chasing nuts around, and they're trying to pick up the nuts and put them in a tree so that they can be dealt with after the next election. We will deal with it after the next election, as a matter of fact, Madam Speaker. But there's a real conflict of interest here, and the conflict of interest is we've already seen. I mean, maybe this is why they're trying to distract us, because they've already got one minister who's been taken out of the government, and we are very concerned about the fact that there may be more ministers. If the SDTC scandal is unveiled, there might be more ministers across the way who will be fired. So I wonder if my colleague could just respond on that.
For answer, the honourable for Calgary-Mindapur.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. For weeks and weeks, the Minister of Employment sat here and defended himself. And in fact, the Prime Minister defended him as well until he had to release in absolute shame over identity fraud, essentially. But even leading up to that identity fraud was just a series of moral lapses. And where there's smoke, there's fire. And I have no doubt that there are so many more fires burning on the other side of the aisle, Madam Speaker. And I say that with a heavy heart. I hope I have to speak on this for a fourth time, but this is where this government has left me and left Canadians, Madam Speaker.